Hi everyone! For today's video message, I want to talk about the final thing that I tend to see keep us stuck the most. And obviously the things that we've talked about over the past couple of weeks, it's not all encompassing. These are just the most common typical blocks that I tend to see. So if you're ready, I feel like I need like a drum roll, drum roll please. It is the inner critic. Not a big surprise, right? Because that critical internal voice is always telling us what we can't do, that we're not good enough, that we have to do it this way, it always seems to have an opinion on everything. And we know, for those of you who are familiar with my work, the inner critic is something that we talk about a lot. And of course, the inner critic is going to keep us stuck. Our inner critics don't like change. Even if where we are isn't serving us. That part of us that's in our subconscious, it wants to keep us safe. It wants to protect us. It doesn't want to shake up the status quo. It likes things in the comfort zone. So naturally, when you're thinking about making a change, your inner critic is going to start to get riled up and is going to start having more opinions, and its opinions, of course, are probably likely keeping you stuck. What to do about the inner critic? This is something that I may do a whole series training for this group on, but just to give you a couple little things, if you feel like your inner critic is what's really holding you back from moving forward, first really get clear on what the core message is or core thought, like what is the inner critic really concerned about? So you can get, for example, it might be telling you something like, you wouldn't be able to, you're not qualified enough to get that job. Okay, what does that really mean? What is it really about? Is it about it telling you you're not enough? You have to be perfect, you can't make mistakes, like really getting crystal clear on what that core message is so you can begin to understand it. Then ask yourself, where did this message come from? Our inner critics are learned. It comes from people in our life growing up, society. We learn these messages growing up. So understanding where did this message first come from to help you see that it's not true. Just because it's a thought, just because you learned it, doesn't mean it's fact, doesn't mean it's true. So understand where it comes from. And third, ask yourself, how is it trying to protect me? What is it trying to protect me from? It sounds crazy, but our inner critics actually have good intentions. It's really to protect us from feeling vulnerable, ashamed, embarrassed. Wherever we learn the source of the inner critic, wherever we learn that from, it thinks it's protecting us from experiencing that again. So okay, how is it trying to protect me? Then ask yourself, okay, how can I, so imagine I'm you, how can I acknowledge my inner critic, give myself whatever it's looking for, maybe safety, security, whatever it needs, while also taking a step forward towards getting unstuck and towards what I really want. Quick little inner critic exercise there. I know there are probably going to be questions around this. And again, if you guys want more on the inner critic, those of you in DC, I have a workshop coming up July 24th on it, but I'm also happy to do some videos and get more in depth in terms of how to tackle our inner critics. Thanks, guys.